When you walk into the lobby of the Stanley Hotel, you step back in time with its Georgian Revival architectural style, the 1906 Stanley steamer on display, and you might feel like you're not alone. 8-year-old actress and Estes Park resident Madison Mollers and I meet up with Callie Sherrill for a ghost tour.
All right, guys, now we're going to go in the music room. Come on in.
Callie is the Stanley's resident paranormal investigator. First stop is the music room, where Mrs. Stanley's Steinway piano is on display. Nothing strange in here. But as Madison and I sit on the bench in the billiard room, trying to stay quiet as women would have in the early 1900s, we both get a strange feeling.
Relax.
Are you scared?
No, it just feels weird being by the door.
But one thing to keep in mind is there's nothing to be scared of at the Stanley Hotel. We do have a lot of spirits around here, but they're pretty friendly spirits.
That's good to know as we head into room 217, the Stephen King suite.
This is where Stephen King spent that one night where he had so many experiences that he was able to go home and write The Shining. He tells us that one of the things that he witnessed is what he believed to be a ball taking place in that McGregor room that we were in downstairs. He also said that he saw a little boy and a little girl. They were playing ball. Now, he and his wife were the only two guests staying in the hotel that night. There were no families, there were no children. So who were those kids playing ball?
Come and play with us.
His vision of kids inspired the creepy Red Rum Girls in the book he wrote in just over 7 days after his one-night stay.
Everything has to be perfect.
While filming Dumb and Dumber, Jim Carrey didn't even make it through one night in this room that's said to be haunted by Mrs. Wilson, a chambermaid hurt in a gas lamp explosion.
I had guests who have reported being made into the bed. Like they're in bed and they actually feel the covers coming up over them as if the maid is making the bed over them.
On the grand staircase, you might smell Mrs. Stanley's rose perfume and notice the 4 different spindles that signify the 4 seasons and elements.
Mrs. Stanley always wants you to remember when you're at the Stanley Hotel that you were always surrounded by the best of the seasons and the best of the element.
As we walk down the dimly lit halls, things start to get, well, let's just say weird for us. In room 428, the alarm randomly went off.
There's a temperature change in there.
Madison also checked out the closet that was a good 10 degrees cooler.
Kind of makes you wonder if maybe somebody came out, hit the alarm, and then darted back into the closet where he likes to hide.
At room 401, Jeremiah's hair suddenly stands on end. There are a lot of reports of Lord Dunraven, the original Landover, pinching ladies' derrieres in this area. Down in the employee tunnel that is still used today, as we check out the original tunnel, we snap 2 pictures back to back. In the first one, there's nothing. In the second, something shows up on the left side of the tunnel.
We're going to head down to the concert hall now. In my opinion, the concert hall is probably the most haunted location on the entire grounds. You ready for that, Madison? Mm-hmm. Awesome.
You might see Mrs. Stanley in what was her VIP box in the balcony.
And I have seen what appears to be the figure of a woman who stands up out of a chair. She places her hand on the railing and she leans out into the room.
And during our interview,
They're trying to open the door, is it?
I keep thinking that it's people trying to get in.
Or is it wind? That sounds like little footsteps.
Yeah, that is little footsteps.
Welcome to the Stanley.